So you wanna be a picture book writer, then you gotta write picture books. And you're gonna need a bucket load of bright ideas for titles, plots, and hooks. If you're partial to prose or you're raring to rhyme, then repeat after me. It's a challenge, but I'm gonna tackle each story 1 month at a time with 12 by 12.
I'm so excited to share this book with everyone tonight. It starts with a bit of a prologue. Among the Yoruba tribe of West Africa, when a king dies without a son, his daughter will rule until the kingmakers choose a new king. These female rulers are called regents. Abioye stared at the empty throne as the voice of the village scribe echoed across the palace courtyard. She still felt a sharp pain in her chest whenever she remembered her father's soft laugh. Princess Abioye will be the regent until a new king is crowned, the scribe announced. Mama, Abioye whispered. That mean? It means that you will rule for 3 moons, her mother said. Then the kingmakers will choose 3 men, and the villagers will vote for their new king. Chief Osi jumped to his feet. Child cannot rule this village. Chief Iyalode scoffed. What does Abioye know about ruling? Chief Aro nodded. There must be another way. The scribe shook his head. If you do not follow the law, can you ask others to do so? But Abioye agreed with the chiefs. I'm only 8, he thought. I can't rule. A few days later, the village celebrated the new regent. Obitun dancers performed in the village square. Servants pounded huge mounds of yams. Palace cooks stirred giant pots of egusi soup filled with bushmeat. But Abioye sat silently, rubbing her father's royal beads. Was Baba a good ruler? Abioye asked her mother that night. Yes, her mother replied. It was not always easy, but remember what your Baba always said. Those who will rule must first learn to serve. Abioye frowned. Learn to serve. Her mother smiled. Start by watching and listening. During the palace meeting the next day, Abioye sat quietly while the chiefs talked. Words like titles, taxes, and treaties floated past her ears. Time dragged on. I'm watching and listening, Abioye thought, but I'm not learning how to serve. When the meeting finally ended, Abioye went to find a snack. This water is muddy, she heard the head cook complain. The village well is running dry, a servant said. We must dig a new one. But the cook shook her head. The chief said there's no money. We'll have to fetch water from the river. Abioye thought about the steep path to the river. It will be so hard to carry water up that hill. If only the chief would pay for a new well. Abioye picked up a bucket and followed a servant to the river, where they came upon 2 fishers. Such a small catch, one said. I wish I had money to fix my leaky boat. I don't even have a boat, said the other, to cast my nets from the riverbank. Abioye thought about the grand fishing boat that sat unused in the palace shed. If only the fishers had a boat like that. In the village the next morning, Abioye saw a woman weaving baskets outside a broken down house. As Abioye passed by, a small boy ran out and begged for some food. Forgive my son, the woman said. He's hungry. Mother, Abioye asked, do you sell these beautiful baskets? I would sell more at the market, she replied, but my children need me at home. Abioye thought of the palace courtyard where she often played under the watch of the palace guards. If only these children had a safe place to play. Their mother could sell baskets at the market and buy food for her children. The next day, Abioye visited the market. She walked past the farmer's stalls. She remembered how her father had helped them bring in the corn during the last planting season. Baba Abuye had asked, "Why are you harvesting instead of telling everyone what to do?" Her father replied with a twinkle in his eye, "Those who will rule must first learn to serve." Abuye thought about the muddy water, the leaky boat, and the hungry children. If only the villagers had someone like Baba to help them. And suddenly, he knew just what to do.
That's wonderful. And I love how you took what could be viewed as a pretty adult topic of, ruling a kingdom and made it so child friendly through the eyes and the heart of this little girl. So there's a question that was this based on a true story? And I think there's a couple of those. I think it was not really, but
No,
it's inspired by what actually happens.
exactly. It's inspired by the tradition, but it's entirely fictional.
How much research did you do? Did you have to do any, or is this sort of just based on your own lived experience and knowledge of the customs and the culture?
I did do a fair bit. I'm familiar with the tradition of Regency because I'm Yoruba, and it's always fascinated me. Actually, I've always wanted to write about it. But I did have to learn a little bit more about what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, the process by which they get installed. And I also came across just a lot of news articles about people questioning, like I said in my author's note, why they're not allowed to be permanent king today. So I did have to do a bit of research just to get the story right.
And so Pam is asking how you're presenting this at school. Do you just start with the story, or do you begin with the history of the tradition, and how has it been received so far?
I've done it I did it in February in collaboration with Black History Month. So I will typically talk a little bit just about Nigerian history in general and the history of the Yorubas. And then for kids, I need to explain what Regency is because otherwise then it's a little bit out of context for them. So I do a little bit of explanation of what that looked like. And then I go into a reading of the book so that they can get it.
How do you come up with ideas for your books? And how do you, the question is, what suggestions do you have for authors who feel like they've run out of ideas or have an idea but can't develop it? So that's 3 questions.
In one.
How do you come up with ideas? And what tips do you have for authors who maybe feel like they've run out of them or can't develop their ideas?
I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question. And I'll tell you why. It's because I am really focused on what I write about. My my tagline is I write about big ideas for little minds. So things that would normally be like big topics, but written in a kid-friendly way. And then it has to be about West Africa. So I write a lot about my lived experiences and the things that go on with my kids. Like with this story, for example, it happened because my kids went through the Disney princess phase, and it was all they would watch on TV. And so I'm sitting watching them watch it one day, and I'm going through the list of princesses in my head, and I'm like, what's the African one? And I'm like, somebody needs to write a story about an African princess, to which I suddenly remembered you've been wanting to write about regions for a long time, so here's your chance. And all my other books as well. My first 3 books are a series about immigration, and then I have a standalone about social anxiety, which one of my kids suffers from. I think my ideas just come about from things that I see every day around me and my children and my lived experiences.
Together, so never you fear. It's a handy little way to help you kick into gear. You're amazing, exciting. Look out, cause you're writing 12 by 12.
12 manuscripts.
12 by 12.
12 picture books.
12 by 12.